Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day to you. Welcome to Bayou Sports Talk, and I'm your moderator, Kay. We are having a great discussion today. We have a great panel before you, as we have the first of the bunch, the oldest family member on the panel. We have Coach. Holla at him, Coach.
It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Boston community. Shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. Just want to let everybody know that's been rocking with us since day one. We appreciate y'all for taking time out your day to check us out. In addition to that, I'm proud to be the exclusive content creator for Southern University here on YouTube. And lastly, the goal is for the channel to hit 1,000 subscribers by May the 25th. So y'all like, share, and subscribe so we can get to that goal.
All right, Coach. Well, next in line, our center, our lineman, we have Rude Dog. Holla at Rude.
I'll let your boy Root Dog. You heard me, baby. We'll get this show on it pop. We're gonna see 1,000 before you know it. But I got one correction about your thing, Coach. And y'all might get mad too, the rest of y'all. How you figure out the greatest university, man?
We already knew it was coming.
My bad.
Hold up, don't talk about our alums now. Get it right. Get in line.
I hate to disagree with y'all, but I think it's the second best greatest university.
Who, Nickel State?
Tulane. Green Waves.
Psych.
All right. Let's move on. And let's holler at the baby of the bunch, Ray. Holler at him, Ray.
Also a graduate of the greatest university on the planet, Southern University, A&M in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Here to give my opinions and my perspectives about things going on in the sports world. So let's get it active and let's get it going.
All right, fam, let's get it popping. Let's talk about our first topic in line. Let's talk about the NBA playoffs. Let's just start there, fam. So, Coach, tell me what you think.
I've been enjoying the playoffs. Of course, I didn't anticipate the Miami Heat upsetting the Milwaukee Bucks. I didn't anticipate that at all. Of course, I think Giannis getting hurt in game one, kind of factoring into it. And I think the fact that Mike Budenholzer, he kind of rested his players to end the regular season. They kind of lost their mojo. And, Giannis getting hurt in the first game, that also factored into it. And then he was out for the next game. So him not playing in those two games, I think kind of helped the Miami Heat prepare them the way they are. And once Jimmy Buckets got it going, it was kind of a wrap. I think they don't match up too good with the Miami Heat either. And I think lastly, this might be a controversial take. I know Rude Dog is always down on Willie Green, but I'm not going to lie. Mike Budenholzer, he overrated as a coach. I think the Bucks need to just cut him loose and just keep it pushing, you know what I'm saying? But, that was a upset I didn't anticipate in terms of the Clippers and the Suns. Without Kawhi and PG-13, the Clippers didn't have no chance to win in that particular series. And then the last series that I was kind of in agreement with Rude Dog. I thought the Cavaliers had enough to get by the Knicks, even though it was like a 50-50 series to me. But at the end of the day, the Knicks just was too much for them. So, those are the three series that I'm really focusing on. But I think it's really getting down to crunch time once you get to the next round. That's why, I like the first round to be like a best of 5 series so you could advance to the second round quicker, because the second round is when it gets real, So I prefer just to get to the second round. The first round is just kind of, you're spinning your wheels. But the play-in and the first round, now let's just bypass that. Let's just no playing game. If it was up to me, they wouldn't have no playing games. Just the top 8 from each conference. We'll roll with that. And the first round will be the best of 5. And then we'll just advance to that. But like I said last week, It's more about the playoff money, the TV money. That's why they made the first round the best of seven, and that's why they added in those playing games so they could get more TV money.
Well, Coach, one, I'm gonna say I like that name you gave Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets. I like that. But
That's a nickname he already had.
oh, okay. Well, I'm unaware of that, so I like that. Thank you for bringing that to the forefront. So, Rue, are you in agreement with what Coach is saying? And do you think they should just bring the top 8? Because I don't like, because people you may be underestimating may be the one that shines. So, what do you think? And how do you feel about the playoffs?
Coach, I gotta disagree with you on that a lot, bro. Man, the playoff game that bring the best out of a team, bro. You never know, you might have had a key injury through the season, and these people didn't limp here. Some teams didn't fluked out. Like some teams to be playing above the meaning, and I love the 7-game series all the way around, bro. Because some teams you might start off rough, or like you said with Giannis. And I disagree with you on Mike, the coach of Milwaukee, bro. I mean, everybody kind of get faded when you get the best player in the league and he go down. You just you can see what's going on in New Orleans. When the best player go down, you kind of go down as a coach because you depend on that best player so much. And I think these boys got these boys number, dog. We could replay back and call. Dog, Miami knocked them out not too long ago in the playoffs.
Well,
So
I say that
pretty much,
they don't match up good with Miami.
yeah, like you said, Jimmy Bucket, Jimmy, whatever you want to call him, OG, Jimmy, sweet Michelob commercial having, whatever you want to call him. He the man, bro. He dropped 52 on them other night. He's the man, bro. New York think they're gonna go there. You're not gonna go against Jimmy. You're not gonna do it against Jimmy, bro. I hate to ruin all y'all, but like I think it might be Jimmy finals year. I ain't gonna see you gonna win a ring.
Oh no, man.
But he might hold on. We're gonna go back. He got Boston too. We got Boston,
That's my
great
point.
Jason Tatum, bro, Shout out
That's
to
my
that
point.
light skinned brother, you know what I'm saying?
No,
Hey,
but
bro, it's gonna be
76ers.
no,
oh
but
man,
no,
we'll beat them.
but this.
Boston gonna beat them, boy. Man, Jen
But
Harden washed up. Tell Jen Harden cut them dreads off his head too, man.
hey,
That line
this
of
is my
head
point
like
with you
that,
though,
man.
Rue.
Cut that off your head. They might have a chance of winning. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
But
bro, it's Boston. It's gonna be Boston this year, bro. And watch out for my man KD over there, bro.
no, this is my issue with you though, Rue. How come you got all this smoke for Willie Green, but you giving Mike Boonholz all these passes? Man, what's up with that?
Yeah, man. It's all about the championship ring. That man got him a ring already. Willie Green can't get the playoffs. So
Well,
it's
hey, like I said, you giving him passes because Giannis was nicked up in a couple games. Hey, Zion ain't played for I don't know how long. Come on, man, you gotta be consistent with that, bro.
man, listen.
Okay. Well,
Hey, you can't knock him, bro. He number one every year. All right, it happened to people. Look how many years the Miami Heat was number one with Tim Hardaway and Lonzo Ball. And you always had the New York Knicks at the 8th seed. Always knocked them out. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes some teams just got their number. Like they just got their number going on. That's just like look at the John Morant.
That was
Man,
one year the Knicks was the
played on
AC,
the
bro.
team.
That was 1 year the Knicks was the AC. That was 1 year.
I could recall those twice they knocked them out like they were Larry Johnson.
No, they knocked him out twice, but that was the 1 year, the lockout year, where the Knicks really wasn't no AC. That just was a bad matchup for them too.
If you want to go there, how many times they knocked them out of the playoffs? They knocked them out like 2-3 times. So they actually got some teams that got some team number. Like if you look at everybody think the Suns just walked over the Clippers. Man, Russell Westbrook played ball like he been playing years. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually have a team with the Clippers. If I'm the Clippers, I'm moving Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of both of them. I agree with you on that. Hey, I'm getting rid of PG-13 and Kawhi. Both of them boys, they injury prone.
As me and you can speak, I don't mean to keep holding the mic. I know you want to say something, but as you look at it, as older you get, and you dealing with all these injuries now. He already like Kawhi like 33, Paul George but 33. Then once you get in the 30s and you start getting these injuries, it's pretty much over with. Bro. Like
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. They
You
could just
saying that
trade
this
PG-13 and Kawhi at this point.
man, whatever you get from them dudes, it's time to rebuild and get you another young superstar player that can come in there, which they made a bad move to get uh, Paul George and all of that. You got rid of dog. Look at this boy SGA, bro. This boy be shining, bro. This boy dropping like 40 every game. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can't just jump on players that you figure you just gonna win a ring because you put Kawhi and Paul George. Man, you watch that together. Like they automatically win the ring. These guys can't stay healthy enough to stay on the court to play a game. So as me, as a general manager, I'll move both of these guys.
All right, guys. Well, let's keep on track and let's see what the baby and a bunch have to say. Ray, what you got to say? What you think? Do you agree with Coach and or do you agree with Rue? What are you thinking?
So this far, like the playoffs, like what Coach said, I was kind of surprised by the Heat, beating the Bucks, but it is all about personnel, which is why I disagree with Rudy where he said that the Heat's just gonna like run over the Knicks. It's almost like you're kind of contradicting what you said. If it's all about personnel, you just can't automatically assume the Heat's just gonna run over everybody just because he just so happened to beat the best team in the league. Well, the number one team in the East. So I feel like, I always was high on the Knicks, like in the middle of the season, with Jalen Bronson, Julius Randle who got hurt in their last playoff game. So for the most part, the playoffs is going exactly how I expected it, except for that one series with the Heats and the Bucks. So that's pretty much how my playoff picture's going. The Lakers, they beat the Memphis Grizzlies last night. I'm pretty sure a lot of people expected that. A good series, which is why I kind of disagree with Coach on this. I do like the fact that we have 7-game series because you could easily see it with the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. Like this is one of the best series that I done seen in a long time. And I'm actually going for the Kings to actually knock Steph Curry and them out the playoffs. But I would love to see Steph Curry play LeBron at some point in the playoffs.
All right. Well, look, Ray has some great expectations for them all, and I hope to see what comes of it all. So let's. Are you in agreement with what Raymond is saying that he wants to see what comes of what and maybe see. I'm gonna be truthfully honest with you guys. I am rooting for the Lakers. I am a Lakers girl, have been for many years, even when Shaq was there and that was that Shaq and Kobe combo, and now we have that LeBron and AD combo, and to me it's something seems a little off, but hopefully they can get in rhythm and get their team going like they need it and be stronger as a unit. So, do you agree with that? Do you think that they are off, Rue? What do you think?
The Lakers, man. Man, y'all, good job to y'all, all y'all Lakers fans, and it's exciting right now. I'm glad to see y'all smiling right now, because after this series here, y'all not gonna be smiling like this dude LeBron James is the biggest crybaby of all in basketball. AD is made out of what you call it? I can't believe it's not butter. He's so soft. I
He
don't
definitely made a butter.
I hate to say it like this, but I hate them Lakers fans on the slick. Like I don't like the Lakers. Like I don't, and LeBron cried too much for me. Like he just a big crybaby, and everybody glorify him like he's so, you know. So whoever they go against, who they supposed to go in the next round against? The maybe the Warriors. Man, you ain't gonna mess with
Yeah, I
Steph,
think Golden
man.
And
State.
that concerns me, guys. That really
You don't
does.
want to see a mad Steph. You don't want to see a mad Steph. When he taking that mouthpiece out of his mouth, you don't want to see a mad Steph. Or Clear Thompson hitting shots. Or great Draymond Green looking like one of y'all green people in the family over there. You heard them gray hairs in their face. You don't want to see them boys there. Andrew Wiggins. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
You don't want to see
so
none of these boys. You don't want to see.
okay,
I'm telling you, you
So
don't want to
so
see them.
wait, so wait. My thing is, if the Warriors struggling with the Sacramento Kings, and you were just talking about personnel, you don't think they're gonna struggle against the Lakers? You muted, Rue.
Man, look at the ring, man.
Huh?
Look at the ring thing. Look at all
Look
the
at the
rings they got, man. The last couple of
man.
years, man.
LeBron got rings too.
Hey, he
Hey,
cheated.
he
One of the
talking,
rings shouldn't even
he
count.
talking about a
One of
mad
them shouldn't even
stuff.
count.
He talking about a
That's
mad
look.
stuff. You don't want to see a mad LeBron either, though, dog.
What he gonna do? What is he gonna do? What
He
is he
gonna
gonna
yam
do?
on you. He gonna dunk on
Damn,
you. I'm telling you.
man, that
You
don't even
can't. You
sound like a
can't.
dunk
Hey,
on you.
I
Oh,
ain't gonna lie. You
damn,
telling the truth.
that sound like
LeBron
he gonna get some
cry a
knee.
lot, but you gonna cry dunking on you.
Man, LeBron, like Dylan Brooks told him, man, go sit your old self down somewhere, man.
And
The
look,
game
this
fast
Dylan
and
Brooks
fast,
sitting
man.
down. LeBron said, if you see me in the forest fighting the bear, you might want to go help the bear.
Man, you looking at LeBron with all that creating, man. I believe LeBron be dragging on the slick, man. LeBron ain't he good, all right, but AD,
All
all these
time
dudes
leading
with him,
scorer, dog. All time leading scorer in his longevity.
man, he played 30 years. He should
Yeah,
be the
that's hard to
all-time leading
do. Too
scorer.
many people can't do that.
Man, if Jordan,
You
now
acting like
hold on,
that's
we
luck.
could take this conversation another level. Hey, coach, you know one thing. If Jordan would have played all them years, you know one thing. Jordan was out half of the year. He wanted to be a golfman, baseball player. He didn't know what he wanted to do, a swim track team. You know, Jordan was doing all this other stuff on the side, man.
Jordan went to the Wizards
But
on defense.
hold your thought. That was before he
Jordan
was
went out
famous
like a
for
chump on
coming
the
here.
Wizards.
That's what. Hey, right now, LeBron James, yeah, he took because y'all the younger generation. But Jimbo, you know one thing when the Chicago Bulls came on, everybody was in front of TV. Even people who didn't watch basketball were cheering for Mike. You know what I'm saying? The greatest games, the greatest game. Not nobody who cried. Oh, I need him over
I
here with
don't
me.
agree with that. I don't. Even though we were watching, even if you weren't a a basketball fan, but I don't agree that people were cheering for Jordan if you weren't a Jordan fan, because I wouldn't even lie to you. I've never been a Jordan fan.
Hey, I guarantee they got more Jordan fans than LeBron fans. Jimbo, you know back in the day, dog, you ready for Scottie Pippen, the boy. Come on, man. You want LeBron, you be like, man, that dude cry. He want every call. He flop.
Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
bro, Jordan
Look,
had so much
them
power.
Jordan fans
Jordan
dying off. I see a
hey,
bunch of LeBron jerseys. People don't wear Jordan jerseys no more. You might wear
let me
his
tell
shoes,
you.
but won't wear his
Oh,
jersey, dog.
I was about to say a
You
bunch of
right.
people
You
wearing
right.
Jordan
Hold on.
shoes. In fact, more people
Hey,
might be
look,
wearing
hold on.
Jordan shoes than
Let me show you
LeBron's.
something.
Hey, they is. I ain't gonna lie. Jordan shoes got a legacy, but ain't nobody wearing his jersey no more.
Man, you crazy because they can't afford it. You can't afford a
Can't
real
afford
Jordan
it.
jersey. Nobody
Man,
can
bro,
afford a
you got
real
people
Jordan
wearing
jersey.
LeBron
Dog,
jerseys.
a legendary Jordan jersey. You not now. You might go to
All right,
Fred's,
guys. All right, all right.
a Dollar
Next,
Tree,
man, next subject. Next
a
subject.
Super 10 in one of these stores and get you a fake Jordan jersey with you know with the bull, not the bulls, with the else. You might get you a
All
fake
right, Rudy. All
jersey.
right, man. All right, man. You got it. You got it.
All
You got it.
right, then I'm
You
trying to
got
tell
it. You
you,
got
business.
it. You got it. You
Hey,
got
bro,
it. You got it.
Jimbo, listen, Jimbo,
Real,
you know
real,
one
real.
thing, bro. Jimbo, you know back in the day, bro, you had a Jordan jersey with some Jordan on, some nice jeans. You were the man, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or even the black one with the stripes. You know what I'm saying? You know, or you know what I'm saying? Cleveland. LeBron would be like Jordan so bad he ain't got his number. He look up the MJ. He can't do what MJ do. Clothing line, you know
Kobe
that's
wants
Kobe.
to be MJ. LeBron wanted to be better than MJ.
Hey,
That's
dog. Hey,
uh,
before your time, everybody liked the commercial.
hey, it
I
don't
want to
matter if
be
it was
like
before my time,
Mike.
during my time, or after my time. We respect the
Hey,
all-time
I
scoring
guarantee
leader,
you,
dog.
if you would have came when we came up, you'd have made it tell
But
the
I
boys just
didn't.
boxing
Ain't
Weezy.
no if, coulda, shoulda,
You
woulda. I didn't. It is what
you
it
you would have
is.
you'd have been
LeBron
the
All
the
right,
only
all right, all right. So thank you guys for that passion. That's one thing you're going to get here at Bayou Sports Talk. You're going to get passion. You're going to get
LBJ.
it all here. So guys, let's move on to the let's talk about I want to talk about Lamar. With Lamar and his contract, Ray, what do you think?
My dog got his money. He got his money. And the thing that I love about it, I don't know if anybody ever watched the TV show The Game. Well, I forgot their names because I ain't watched it in so long, but you got like the black quarterback and his mom is his agent. Somebody put a picture on Twitter and said that's Lamar Jackson and his mama. And that's the thing though. Like I really like it because the 3% that the agents get from the contract of the athletes, that's going straight to his mama. And that's the thing, like I kind of understood his mentality. What's one person that you know gonna always have the best intentions for you? Your mama. You don't know what these agents be trying to do and get over on you. So you know that 7 million, 8 million that's going straight to his mama. You know, he the highest paid quarterback. You got two of the highest paid quarterbacks are black. So, you know, just a cool fact. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like he got his money, and you know can't hate on that. Go ahead on, man, get your money.
All right, Coach. What are your thoughts? Do you think? My question is, do you think he should have gotten more, Coach? Your thoughts?
Well, first, before I give my thoughts, shout out to my brother Jared 11 Green, who in the chat. He talked about this last night on his show because you know, he's a huge Ravens fan, right? So first, my initial thoughts was I wanted that entire 260 million to be fully guaranteed because if if Deshaun Watson, if his whole 225 was guaranteed, then I felt like Lamar Jackson's 260 should have been fully guaranteed. We talked about that on the show, but the thing about it is, it seems as if both sides kind of gave in. The Ravens gave him more money than they wanted to give him, and Lamar made some concessions. So concessions were made on both sides. They ended up going to get OBJ, and then in addition to that, Jared was saying that there were talks about the Ravens potentially trading Patrick Queen to get DeAndre Hopkins. So, and plus they got Zay Flowers in the first round. And in addition to that, they're going to try to take some of that money and get him some offensive linemen so he can have some line play up front. So basically, both sides made some concessions. I was hoping he got the full 260 guaranteed, but basically the NFL, I'm not going to say it's flat out collusion, but they weren't going to let him get that full 260 guaranteed, because if you give Deshaun a full 225 guaranteed, then you give Lamar a full 260 fully guaranteed, then every franchise quarterback is going to want to get their entire contract fully guaranteed, and the NFL owners weren't going to go for that. So I think what's going to happen is, they're going to try to do their best to keep him happy and keep getting weapons around him. And in addition to that, even though he's the highest paid quarterback now, I'm going to be truthful, in a few years, he's going to be like the fifth, sixth highest paid quarterback because, the money keeps escalating as the years go on. So if you had one guy that he might be the highest paid quarterback today, then in a few years, he might be like the fifth or the sixth. So at some point, you're going to have a few quarterbacks that's going to overtake him. But, I'm happy he got his money. Everything worked out. Both sides made concessions, but I was hoping he got that full 260 guaranteed, me, myself.
Okay. Rue, what are your thoughts? Do you think Lamar got what he was worth, or do you think he should have gotten more? What do you think about his contract?
I think he got exactly what he was worth as a quarterback. I mean, like the boy, like Coach was saying, like you can't. They don't want to start that in the lead, and then at the same time, injuries play a factor, and you don't want, like, you still need room to get other weapons too. You can't just demand all the money, and like you're trying to get D Hawk over there. You got Odell. They just drafted a receiver, Flowers, and they got the
Yeah,
dude
Zay
Bateman
Flowers.
last. Yeah, they got Bateman, so they got a lot of weapons or whatever like that for their team. So I think he did good, and then you still got J.K. Dobbins. So that team really loaded as what he need to compete for the Super Bowl as a team like Patrick Mahomes or even the Bills and a lot of up and coming teams. Like the even like the Houston Texans. I think they're gonna be an up and coming team. They're about 2 years away, so I think they did a good job of putting some of these weapons around Lamar. He need them.
All right, guys. He is a great quarterback. So, I pray him much success. He's a great quarterback, and they have something great in him in Lamar Jackson. So guys, let's move forward, and with this, a quick fact, moving forward before we leave off of this subject of quarterbacks. Um, well, we have a quick fact that Roger Staubach, he was the highest paid quarterback of all time because he made $600 million. So that was, great money, great money. So let's move on, guys.
Hold up. I don't mean to cut you off. He didn't make that as an NFL player. He might have made that like off the field, but in terms of just a straight NFL quarterback, right now Lamar Jackson has the highest contract for a quarterback. So I think you're talking about just overall, like across the board.
I'm talking about overall.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. So let's move on. Let's talk about, before we get on to anything else, let's kind of jump back to the fight last weekend. Guys, did y'all see the fight with Tank and Ryan and how things ended on a great note, how they exchanged contact information, and it was just and the ending speech with Ryan, how he said that he wanted to give homage to God, and it just, what are you thinking, Ray?
Me, just what I got from the fight. I mean, it wasn't exactly as what me and Coach predicted. Javante Davis, knockout. I honestly thought he should have got. I thought that Davis should have knocked Garcia out in the second round with that counter uppercut it was. But that was beautiful. Oh, like, yeah, it was a hook. It's like the way it was angled. It kind of looked like an uppercut, but it was a hook. It was just a good overall fight. Like, I enjoyed it. Ryan Garcia, landed on Tank a good couple of times, which we know he could do. But Tank just, his fight IQ just set up Ryan and took out the body. And that's something, and you could tell that was Javante Davis' game plan, because he heavily invested in the body the whole fight. And he actually kind of talked about how Ryan got hurt in the body prior to the fight. Like, at some point during Ryan's training camp or something, he got hurt in the body, and that information got leaked, and Tank knew that, so that was a part of his game plan. But the boxing promotions, them fighting each other and getting up in each other's face, that's all for promotion. It's not really real. At the end of the day, both of those guys have respect for each other and stuff like that. And I just watched Big George Foreman, the movie, last night, and I really like how, after George Foreman, found the Lord and stuff like that, he came back, he apologized to Muhammad Ali and like, look, man, I was trying to kill you, when we first fought. But he was like, he wanted to be his friend and stuff like that. And that's how boxing is in general. Some of those guys may not like each other at first, but man, when you share a ring or octagon with somebody for those couple of minutes, you automatically will have a level of respect for them. And so they got that type of respect for each other, But Ryan Garcia know what it is. He already knew he wasn't messing with Tank.
Okay, Coach, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with Ray that he should have knocked him out sooner, or what are your thoughts? Because before you move forward, that's one thing I can say. You all predicted, Ray and Coach predicted that he was gonna win and have a knockout. So go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much like Raymond and I said last week, we pretty much predicted a knockout, because you got to realize, for the exception of maybe his fight against Isaac Cruz, all the Tank fights ended in knockouts. And, even though Ryan Garcia has power and hand speed, because, he touched Tank a couple times, and I think he kind of, in that first round, not the first round, the second round, he didn't hurt Tank, but he buzzed him a little bit. So the thing about it is he has hand speed and he has power, but his footwork is terrible. His boxing IQ is very low. I mean, he was considerably taller. He didn't know how to use his height and reach advantage. So those are some things that, he really needs to work on moving forward. And the thing about it is the fight pretty much played out the way I anticipated. Not just myself, but a lot of the brothers in the LDBC, we all picked Tank to win by knockout. And, you know, it pretty much played out the way I anticipated in terms of, you know, the post-fight stuff, in terms of, you know, them kind of being cool and all that. That's kind of par for the course. In terms of the magnitude of the fight, I'm not going to lie. I still think that the actual fight itself, in terms of, like, the quality of the fight, it was more or less like ESPN Friday Night Fights, HBO Championship boxing pay-per-view. But in terms of the magnitude itself, I didn't think the fight was going to generate 1.4 million pay-per-view buys. But that just kind of is a reflection of the day and age we live in from a boxing standpoint, where as boxing fans, we so deprived and starved of the best fights that a fight like this could generate 1.4 million pay-per-view buys. There's absolutely no way. I mean, it was a huge mega event, but this not even the best fight in the division. You know, if Bob Arum does not rob Devin the Dream Haney against Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko, if he could get by him, the fight that really is the mega fight in the lightweight division is Tank against Devin the Dream Haney. But, you know, the fact that, you know, people saying that Tank is the new face of boxing, I really don't know, but I really can't say that until he beats Devin Haney. And then in addition to that, people saying Canelo is not the face of boxing. I think, you know, Tank is the cash cow. And of course, you got people like EJ Errol Spence Jr., you know, he gets a lot of pay-per-view buys. You know, if I had to pick just one real face of boxing, even though he's not undisputed at heavyweight, it's still Wilder. Wilder's still like the cash cow in the sport to me. You know, that's why I'm sorry trying to give him so much money. But overall, I mean, it was a good event. You know, the one thing I really didn't like how Bernard Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya, you know, post-fight, they left Ryan Garcia high and dry, evidently, from what I'm understanding now. And Ramo was right. Tank had, I guess, a spy in the camp that kind of leaked that information that Ryan Garcia was hurt to the body in camp. So of course, Tank knew that. But I didn't like the way Bernard Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya played that situation. From what I'm understanding, Ryan Garcia is potentially leaving Golden Boy after this fight because, you know, if he your cash cow, he your man fighter, and it seems as if you cash him out, like why are you gonna leave this dude high and dry in a post-fight press conference? You know, Goosen wasn't there, his trainer wasn't there, and his promoters weren't there. You know, even though Floyd, we know he likes the attention. You know, Floyd said he wouldn't have left Tank got knocked out the way Ryan did. So, you know, overall it was a big event, but I just didn't like the way, you know, Golden Boy handled the whole situation post-fight, you know.
A quick input. I was listening to a video. I heard they said that security had advised them not to come because they received death threats or something like that. But
Bro,
I really believe that.
Hey, that's cap. Because you know why? Because you can say what you want. If Ryan would have knocked out Tank, he would have been at that post-fight press conference. The thing about it was, because after the fight, you know, Floyd Mayweather Jr., you know, money, he was making fun of him and Bernard Hopkins. They just didn't want to be trolled, and they didn't want to receive the backlash they were getting. So that's all it was. They just couldn't take the L. So, you know, they didn't want to get trolled. So they just jetted like a couple of little broads. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't take the smoke.
Okay, well, Coach, I need to make a correction real quick about, you said that his basically all his fights ended in KOs, but there were 2 that he did not. So he's 29-0 and 27 were KOs.
Well, so he broke his hand against Isaac Cruz. So that's one of them. And then the other fight, I mean, for the most part, I mean, he's known for being a knockout artist. That's the reason why they call him Baby Tyson. You know, so he's synonymous with knockouts. So that's why we didn't see every single fight, but the vast majority of his fights in a knockout.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about that, but I just wanted to clarify. Okay, so Rue, what are your thoughts? Did you see the fight? What do you think? How do you like the ending? How they exchange contact information, let people know and showing each other that they have mad love for each other and respect and whatnot. So, what are your thoughts?
I mean, everybody kind of wonder Javante Davis was gonna win. Everybody kind of know that, but I don't like that change the contact number. That's soft stuff to me, man. I don't want to be your friend, man. We in this ring, we getting it in, you know. And coach, I gotta correct you, man. He not no Baby Tyson. Ain't nobody with no Baby Tyson. The soft voice, he ain't like
Okay, I think we lost Rue.
Yeah,
He's having some connection issues.
he's as
But guys, let me ask this
hold,
because
hold,
I
hold on,
heard.
Kim. Okay, I don't mean to cut you off, but one other thing too, because we were in a group chat last week during the fight, and of course, last week was my birthday, so I was eating birthday cake watching the fight, and Rudy kept texting us, Ryan gonna disappoint y'all, and hey, you saw how it ended, huh? So
And that's what I was gonna say about Rue making a comment that he thought that Javante Tank he was gonna lose and that Garcia was gonna win. So he hadn't made that known to everyone. So we're gonna make it known that he thought that Tank was gonna be upset. so uh, so we're glad it ended the way it did, that they were able to because I feel like in a small community like that, you have to show respect and love for one another, because if that is the case, then there will be problems beyond the ring, and you don't want problems beyond the ring. If you agree or not. So with that being said, guys, let's jump back into the NFL. Do you guys agree with the draft and who the Saints pick, and maybe some your thoughts on some other picks as well? So, Coach, what are your thoughts?
Well, in terms of the draft itself, it was a decent draft, but in terms of the Saints, uh, you know, Rudy and Raymond and I, we already discussed it. So I know Rude Dog is on one end of the spectrum, Raymond is on the other end. I'm kind of in the middle. Brian Breesy, according to the Saints draft board, he was the best player available. He's at a position of need. The Saints need a defensive tackle because, even though I feel like Malcolm Moach is that guy, they lost Shy Tuttle, they lost David Ayumata. So the Saints needed a defensive tackle, and he was the best player available. I really didn't. I mean, I think it was a decent pick because, like I said, it's a position of need. He was the best player available. Raymond, he liked the pick, seems as if, in the message, and Rudy didn't like it. He wanted them to get Jalen Carter. And the thing he didn't understand is the Saints don't have those type of draft assets to be able to move back up and get Jalen Carter. The Philadelphia Eagles took Jalen Carter at the number 9 pick. The Saints had the number 29 pick. So they didn't have enough assets to move way up into the first round to get Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter and Brian Breesy played the same position. Of course, Jalen Carter played for the University of Georgia. He was a disruptive, dominant force. Brian Breesy, he has a lot of upside potential. I think the thing about it that Rudy and a lot of other people don't like is the fact that he's injury prone. He has a history of being injured. But even with that being said, I mean, I think it was a decent pick. Like I said, I know Rudy. Rude Dog didn't like the pick. Rude Dog didn't like the pick because he wanted them to get Jalen Carter. But that's the problem with the Saints. Every year they move back up into the first round and they give up their first round pick for the next year. That's why they always having issues with not having the first round pick and have to scramble to, get a first round pick. So no, I think they did the right thing. They stayed put. They took the best player available on their board at a position of need. So I think it was a good pick.
Okay, and for those who don't know about Brian Breesy, he stands at 6'5", at 305, coming from Clemson. So, Ray, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with their pick, and what should have been their need if they wouldn't have gotten Brian.
I agree with the pick. Some people were saying that it might be a steal, and I think so too. Because the 2020 season he had, it looked like he was a projected second, first round pick. And things happen. Injuries just a part of the game. So I'm not someone who really downs a player. I like if they get hurt, they stock drop. I'm not one of those type of people. So it's like I feel like the Saints probably got a steal with him. And I just got a feeling like he gonna come up big for the Saints and like feeling big. And I'm just looking at the rest of their draft picks. They addressed a lot of needs. They picked up a DN. I feel like they should have got BJ Ojolari from LSU, who was still on the board at the time, but they got this guy from Notre Dame, which looking at his numbers and his highlights, it looked like he'll be a pretty good player. So we reloading and revamping the defense. They got another still with the quarterback Miller from TCU, who's very, I ain't gonna say very similar to Alvin Kamara, but we don't know how long and when Alvin Kamara is going to be suspended. So I feel like the running back that they drafted should be able to fill in, for when Alvin Kamara is gone. And I seen a post that said that he trying to be the number one quarterback, so I can't number one running back. So I actually like that mentality that he has. And the last out of the rest of the picks, the last one I'm gonna talk about is the quarterback they got from Fresno State. The dude is 5'11" and he wears number 9. He reminds me of a quarterback that we had in the past for a very long time that was 5'11", 9 foot. I mean 5'11" or 6 foot and wore number 9. Drew Brees. And if you go watch his highlights, the dude threw for 68% completion percentage in college. It's pretty accurate. Drew Brees was pretty accurate. So it looks like, he could be like another Drew Brees for us. And he went to Fresno State, just like Derek Carr. So he should be able to fit into that quarterback room with Derek Carr and Jameis Winston perfectly. And hopefully he could be our franchise quarterback sometime in the future.
Okay, Coach, do you agree? Do you think he can fill those shoes or at least be on the track of Drew Brees, as Ray said?
I mean, I think that's kind of a tall order to ask of him to be the next Drew Brees. I mean, I don't want to put those type of expectations on him, so I'm not willing to go that far yet. I think I'm not saying he a bad pick, but I think the issue with that is the Saints have so many holes. I think they had other areas of need that could have been addressed prior to that. I mean, you could potentially use another defensive back in terms of maybe another corner. They can maybe use a strong safety, a free safety. They could use a couple offensive linemen, tight end, maybe potentially another wide receiver. So, those are all positions of need. You gave Derek Carr his bag. So I think more than anything, I think that should have been, since you didn't like maybe draft somebody like a Hendon Hooker and let Jameis Winston be starting quarterback, I just think they should have maybe picked up a quarterback later on. So, I think they could have drafted another position, maybe a offensive lineman, a tight end, a wide receiver, defensive back. They got other areas that need to be addressed.
I really wanted the Saints to draft Hendon Hooker as well. I don't know if you remember, but I was really high on the Saints taking Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, you and I both were high on him.
So, question, because I'm not familiar. Was he drafted to another team yet,
Yeah, the
or
Detroit
uh,
Lions. He actually got drafted to the Detroit Lions after we made our
oh,
second round pick, which I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe they might come in the third round and try and get Hendon Hooker. But the Detroit Lions picked him up. And a lot of people were saying like that's a good fit for him.
okay? Well, hopefully, if
Yeah,
things work out,
I don't
we
mean to
can.
cut you off, Kim, but the thing about it is he's gonna be behind Jared Goff, and he probably gonna get to sit for a couple years. So more than likely, he's gonna be the heir apparent in terms of eventually being a starting quarterback.
Okay, well, it sounds like things were going pretty good for the draft, but things could have went better for the Saints. as you guys said. But hopefully, we will have a great season coming up. Hopefully for the Saints. Are there anything? And since we have Rue here, Rue, did you see the draft? And do you agree with the pick that the Saints made with Breesy? Do you think they should
Me,
have taken
me,
him as well as?
me. I'm like coach on this one, man. I think they should have hit the reset button on this pick here, bro. I think you get a player like Nolan Smith, somebody you can plug in there, outside linebacker, middle linebacker. You got to realize Demar Davis, but to be 35, his time gonna start declining. So you could use somebody like him. He can pass rush. He can pretty much do it all. He can play safety. The dude run a 4.3 in the 40, so he pretty much faster than half of the cornerbacks you got. So he's so versatile. You should have took a guy like Nolan Smith, bro. And the Saints do that every year in the draft. They pass up on good players, like the other year they passed up on Patrick Queen. You know, somebody that's pretty good, man. And like the second round, I don't know, but this guy here, I never heard nothing about him, but he looked like he's pretty decent. But in the second round, I still would have went with your boy down there at Washington, man. He's 6'7", mismatch. You know, he see all the highlights. He's versatile. He can hurdle people and everything. So you got a lot of things you miss in this draft. Like I don't know what it was going at. It was every team I saw was drafting. They were high fiving in the green room or whatever. They was loving it up. But these people here, like they shook a few hands every now and then. But it wasn't like Tennessee when they made their draft. They were jumping Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the grade of the Saints, I gotta give them like a D for this draft, man. This don't look good at all to me. If I had to take a pick, like, hey, everybody hollering Brees, but this guy, you making him fence around, but this guy been injury prone. He been out more than he been playing. So you don't know what you getting. That's the second year you done did this with Peyton Turner. You don't know what you getting in these guys. You invested in a first round pick. A first round pick is like your future for your team. If you drafting a person in the first round, that's somebody you want as your future player. You know, I like him as a D tackle, but what you gonna do every Sunday if he out for the whole year? You went through it with Davenport. He was out more than he was in. So you basically drafting the same thing with Peyton Turner. He was out most of the year last year. So you don't know what you get in these guys. You know what I'm saying? Man, I think you could take a guy like Nolan Smith in the first round, then double back, and you could have took BJ off from LSU or
I, I,
anything.
I do agree. I said that earlier that I felt like the Saints should have took BJ Ojolari, but my thing is like I feel like I could use what you just said against you. You just said you don't know what these guys gonna do on a Sunday, and I 100% agree with you. Jalen Carter could get to the NFL and be a bust. Reese could get to the NFL and just be that guy, you know. And I was saying earlier, I don't know if you heard this or not. Like I'm not too I don't go too bad on players who have injuries in college because you never know they probably could fix that by the time they get to the NFL. So
And not just that, Raymond. I'm sorry to cut you off.
it's
Excuse
good.
me, but they also counted Drew Brees out.
Yeah, yeah. I know he wasn't a rookie, but that's when he was in the NFL with his shoulder. So, like, injuries are part of the game. I feel like I agree with you, but I don't. I feel like you kind of being a little harsh on the draft picks because, like, man, you got to give them time. Like Sutherland and stuff like that. I feel like halfway through the season, we could be like, yeah, this guy was a bust. Because like when they got Davenport, I'm like, all right, this dude look like he's six, like he was 6'5", 280. I'm like, all right, this dude look like he could be a beast. And you gotta agree, Davenport, when he play, he productive. He's gonna get hurt all the time.
But guess what? You getting hurt all the time. They're not helping us win neither. You think about it.
Right.
And if you're getting a person like Nolan, man, who we talked about a couple of weeks ago,
He
you
could
getting
get
a
hurt
player,
too in the NFL though. Because
yeah, you could
Davenport,
get
they
hurt.
have a history of getting hurt in
Man,
college.
I mean, anybody could get hurt if
That's
we
what I'm
want to go
saying.
that route. But if you get somebody that could play linebacker, outside linebacker, hey man, look, go out there and fill his spot in. How many players you can't tell to go you be an edge rusher when all he is a D tackle? You know, when you playing defense now in the NFL, you need players to be versatile. You need players that go put up in this system, or we need you to do this, we need you to do that. As
Understand the
anybody they
scheme.
got on defense, they got just exactly what they got. You know, hey coach, you know one thing. You a coach. man, you looking for the best athlete, the best player. Man, look, I got a defensive end, but he can play linebacker. He can play cornerback. He can play safety. Would you want that on your team, or would you want a one-dimensional
No,
player? All he could do is
no,
play D tackle.
no, because man, it's all about scheme, man, and it's all about playing
All
position
right, then.
your
That's
role.
you said you made my
The
point
scheme, but
exactly.
that's the thing. Do you know the same scheme? You keep saying playing outside linebacker. The Saints
Obviously,
made
obviously they don't know their scheme because they
yes,
don't
they
know what they're
do.
trying to do.
Let me tell you because
If you want to be honest, they
all
don't
right,
know what they
man.
want to do.
All right,
Because
Rudy.
you reaching, man. Listen, dog, you reaching for
No, man, let
players.
me finish because I got a
All
valid
right,
point. The
all
Saints
right.
mainly play a nickel. Do you have outside linebackers in the nickel defense?
You got
No,
two of them. You got
no,
two of
it's
them.
just two linebackers, so you won't be an outside linebacker. You really got four D linemen and majority DBs. So the Saints are stacked on D line, which they addressed that in the first two rounds. Man, bro, we already got some pretty decent linebackers. Demario Davis, Pete Warner. We got a couple other guys. You don't want to get overcapacitated at linebacker because I ain't gonna lie, Demario Davis gonna play every single snap at linebacker.
He will, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not overly high on Pete Warner, just to be real with you, you know.
I'm not gonna lie neither.
Pete Warner is that guy, but I'm just looking at snaps.
But
You drafting all these good guys, but none of them gonna play. So what's the point of getting all these good guys?
how you not gonna play? Man, Demario Davis is 35 years old. What you think he gonna play till he's 50 years old?
Man,
You gotta think
I'm
about
talking
it.
about
This dude somewhere gonna start declining, bro. You're not gonna play them snaps and hit everybody like he been hitting over the years. This might be the year right here he be down. You could plug a Nolan Smith into that or whatever
you
like
don't
that.
know that either. You
You
could
can
try
put
and
him
plug Lotus Smith, but he could be a bust. That's the thing. That's why I'm saying you
man,
can't be
dog. That kind of
high
speed
and too
and
low on
pass
these guys.
rushing, man, dog. He not. I promise you, he won't be a bust. Philadelphia, he fell right in Philly lap. I promise he won't be a bust. Hey, you might not want to hear this, but dog, a lot of players they reached for everybody they took. Everybody they took, they reached for it. I'm pretty sure you could agree with the same thing, coach, bro. They reached for everybody they took, even if running back. They're projecting him to be the next.
Well, just to kind of respond what he said, because I know he having some Wi-Fi technical issues. The truth of it is, you know, many people say that he was the best player like available on the board. So, you know, my issue with him is he could potentially be injury prone. So I think they kind of both make valid points. You know, he's saying that he injury prone. You know, Ram is saying it's a position of need. But, you know, like I already knew what it was going to be, that I was going to kind of be in the middle. But the thing about it is, in terms of, you know, him saying they should have got Nolan Smith, you know, you kind of go either way because they could use another linebacker, but they needed a defensive tackle to go opposite of Malcolm Roach, you know.
Okay, so do you agree, Ray?
I mean, as far as what?
What Malcolm Roach?
Yeah, I mean, I like Malcolm Rose, who was productive. I know we lost a lot of people on the D line, which the Saints addressed that in the offseason. They
Yeah,
signed
they lost Ayumata, they lost Shy Tuttle, they lost two defensive tackles.
right,
So that's why they needed to draft a defensive tackle, and they
right.
had already added one in free agency.
No, they added two because one was from the Jets and the other one was from the Chiefs. So we got like really full. Probably got a little more because once and
Well,
another
well, well,
thing too. I want to quickly bring in is undrafted free agents. I ain't gonna lie. That's one thing the Saints has done in the past that we've always find. Well, how that saying go? A diamond in the rough. Yeah, a diamond in the rough. Like
yeah.
I even remember when Willie Snead, broke out undrafted free agent. We had a bunch of undrafted, like Jawan Johnson, who's coming up big for us. I feel like Jawan Johnson gonna break out this year, which is why I feel like the Saints didn't draft a tight end because I feel like they thrown in their lot with Jawan Johnson, and I don't blame them for that.
Yeah, but I mean, but back to what you were saying, you know, another one of our cousin and I was talking, and he was saying that he kind of feel like those other two D tackles they got, they kind of like more like kind of fill a gap. Whereas I guess looking at the way they drafted Brian Breesy, they probably anticipate Malcolm Roach and Breesy starting if Breesy could stay healthy, you know.
No disrespect, no knock to Breesy. He looked like he could be a good talent, but I was just saying this point, bro. Like, man, you getting somebody athletic like that, bro. You kind of need that in a defense, bro. You need somebody you can move around, bro. like 3rd and 13 or anything, you got somebody that could pin their ears back and go make a sack. That's what you need right now. You really, beside Granderson, who do you have that could go do that right now? Nobody. You know. I mean,
I mean, but we don't know if Peyton Turner could be that guy though, bro.
But guess what though? We all this hoping and wishing what Peyton gonna do. Man, that's just what I'm saying. Like, you drafting somebody that's injury prone. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't always turn out good. Like, if this guy got issues and you drafting him, he hurt. Why go draft a guy that say you reach in the first round again? You got plenty of other options to get took.
Well, I mean, according to some people, he was the best player available on the board when the Saints drafted. So
they need safety help too, bro. They do bricks, man. Huh? I don't know. They need a lot of things.
You cutting in and out.
The Saints draft safety. It was in the
man, Raymond, I ain't gonna knock what you said, bro, but like D tackle, they definitely need up front. They coach you 100% correct too. Like, y'all, it starts from up front. But at the end of the day, man, you kind of need an athletic player that's somebody can run sideline to sideline. Right now, P. Warner, he's a good cover linebacker. He makes tackles, but he's not no sideline to sideline linebacker to me, man. Like, he's just too on the side, like, he hitting everything.
Oh, he definitely undersized. There's no two ways about it. He's very undersized.
And like you said, man, they kind of like these, snow bunny linebackers.
They really do. They like them guys like Alexander Loney and Pete Warner. Well, they like those kind of guys. You know what I'm saying?
Well, all right, guys. It has been a great discussion. What's your final thoughts? Let's start with you, Roo Dog. What's your final thoughts?
Yeah, it look like Roo having some technical issues.
Yes, he is. He's having some technical issues. We'll swing on back to him. Ray, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are just about everything we discussed today. I feel like we had a good discussion. I feel okay about the Saints draft. I'm not too big on them, but I'm not, too down on them. And the thing about the draft is, I feel like it's like planting a seed. You just gotta wait for it to develop over time. Because at the end of the year, we might be just like, I'm gonna quickly say this: in 2017, we didn't know Alvin Kamara, Ryan Ramczyk. Well, we had
Marshawn Lattimore.
But Marshawn Lattimore was the first, and Ryan Ramczyk was the first round pick. So we had high expectations for them. But like everybody else who we drafted in 17, we didn't know what they was going to be, and all them boys ended up becoming dogs. So it's like I learned from that, like, so don't expect nothing until the season comes. But Lamar got his money. The NBA playoffs is really exciting. I can't wait for the game to come on tonight. So I just feel good about everything we discussed today. Sports.
Coach, final thoughts for you.
All right. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to my brother Jared 11 Green. If you have not done so, we also did a draft show last night, so y'all go check that out. Also salute to Mike Biggs Boxing. He done another one of the brothers in the LDBC. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC. Again, shout out to the greatest university in the world, Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. Like I said, the goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by May the 25th. So if you have not done so, like, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell so you can be alerted anytime I post any new videos. Hopefully y'all have a blessed and phenomenal evening. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace and blessings to you, Roo Dog. Signing off.
Roo, what are your final thoughts?
Man, the show was great. Y'all great. I'm glad y'all my family. How y'all like that? That sound pretty good. Hey, Coach,
that
bro.
Sounds
hey, man,
great
everybody
to me.
doing
And as family, I love my family, and we have a great, phenomenal family. This is just a taste of it. And if guys, if there are any content that you would like us to discuss or any comments you would like to make, please make it down in the comment section below. Please, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, follow, and share for more. And for our closing quote, the only way to prove that you're a good sport is to lose. And that's by Ernie Banks. So, guys, thank you for watching Bayou Sports Talk here in the Bayou of Louisiana. And guys, till we meet next time, see you. Bye-bye.